Well, let's talk about the trains, because there were more problems on the 3rd, Wednesday. The rail, more problems. This time there was a third rail that broke in one of the East River tunnels, and so a number of trains were diverted or canceled. Most of them were on the Babylon branch, but some of them were also on the Hempstead branch too. A lot of the flyers were canceled and combined, which is really something they need to do on a permanent basis. Um, so yeah, there was third rail damage in one of the East River tunnels, and you can see these are all the trains that were affected. A number of trains were affected. Uh, More or less, they left the main line alone. But some trains did break down. This train broke down. The 831 from Ronkonkoma broke down due to equipment trouble, and then everybody had to wait. Look at how long everybody had to wait for. 45 minutes for the next train. And yeah, it says third rail damage. There's third rail damage. I don't look at there was a problem on the E train too. Cross artery tickets. Oh no, that's because of the train problem. All right. Third rail damage. So, yep, the railroads are not doing too well, obviously due to this weather. The 251 train from Montauk to Jamaica also had a problem that was held, and it says that the buses were not on scene. However, as you're going to see in a minute, there were a whole bunch of buses over there in Babylon. And then there was another train problem here, an ongoing equipment problem on the 405 from Huntington due to Penn. And another equipment problem on this train. So the railroad's really falling apart. A lot of people are starting to get pissed with Nowakowski now. And News 12 actually tried to interview Nowakowski, but apparently Patrick Nowakowski is even avoiding News 12. He's really hiding, and I really think his days as chairman for the Long Island Railroad are coming to an end really soon. I think and I hope that they are. Alright, so that's what's going on with that. The other thing I want to show you is the schedules that have come out for the January 8th, through May, track work program for Amtrak. Less trains are affected, but I wanted to show you the Huntington branch here and the canceled and combined trains. So what I have noticed is that they seems to have changed the stopping patterns on some of these trains a little bit here. They've added stops on some of them, so we don't have a huge gap in service. So it looks like they tried to add some stops to certain trains to accommodate people, particularly some of these diesels here. They're now going to stop at Syosset and Cold Spring Harbor. So they'll accommodate people like the 504, for instance, will try to accommodate people from the 506 train that was canceled. All right, so that's what they're trying to do. At least they're trying, but I figured I'd just share that with you. The other thing also, if we look at the Long Island Railroad Twitter, let's go back for a moment here. Yes, they are. The waiting rooms will remain open around the clock through the weekend because of the cold weather and this storm that is occurring. So I just want to show you the buses here. Yes, they had buses at Babylon. There were a whole bunch of coach buses there. Didn't see any school buses because, I don't know what they were for exactly because the Babylon branch seemed to be running okay. However, I'm thinking that these buses are there because of the ongoing problems on the Montauk branch. I don't know why they said buses were en route but not on scene. This was the 251 that was stuck in Montauk, so I don't know what the buses were doing sitting here in Babylon when they should have been in Montauk. But there's more to the story than I know about, but that's what's going on with that. And here's another image here of the buses here. BMW. This is Babylon. It's getting very uppity here. And there's a diesel train actually sitting on this platform here. I saw it arrive in from the west, and it just stopped here. So there must have been some kind of problem on the Montauk branch that I didn't see in the Twitter. I didn't see any announcements on the signs either about that. Didn't see any announcements on the signs either. Everything just said on time. So yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but hey, I'm going to talk a little bit about that Babylon train because I hadn't taken it in a long time. And I didn't miss it either when, what I had to deal with and what I had to see. So this is just the 4:15 train rolling into the Babylon station. I just wanted to show you, of all the terminals, when you compare Babylon to Huntington or Ronkonkoma, the trains are pulling to the terminals pretty empty, at Babylon. Most of the trains are not crowded when they get into Babylon, but Huntington and the other stations are different. But again, they get a lot of service here. And there's everybody getting off the train there. But next, you're going to see some gross. This is why I don't miss the Babylon branch. They may get the best service. They may dress ultra preppy and walk around like they got to stick up their ass. But when it comes to a restroom that's out of service,
this station is Massapequa. This is the train to.
how's that for disgusting?
The next station is
Nauseating. Alright, it's out of service. Why must you take a shit in the bathroom that's out of service? And I'm locked in here because I can't move back because the cab is closed. And you know what? It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. I mean, the toilet's out of service. You think, alright, maybe it's one thing if you're taking, peeing, whatever, but no, you take a shit in there. That's what you do. Oh, it's disgusting. It looks like it locked itself finally. Alright, good. That's what's supposed to happen. I'm putting this here, make sure that stays closed. Yeah. I mean, I rarely experience bathrooms that look like that on the main line, but on the Babylon branch, you see the way these people act, and I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but it seems like they walk around like they got a stick up their ass. I don't know what it is with the people on this Babylon branch. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just generalizing way too much. But whenever I take this branch, I find the nastiest, most arrogant people that you can ever imagine. And, people are like, oh, you're just jealous of them. No, I'm not jealous. I don't want to be on this branch. The people here are crazy. They're just nasty people. So, yeah, I don't miss going along the South Shore and having to deal with the rude, arrogant people on that Babylon branch. I don't know what it is with them, but you see the way they walk around. They just, all they do is work in offices and banks. They act like they're so important. They act like they're so important. It's unbelievable. It just gets on my nerves, and I'm sorry, but it does. And it's hard. When you take public transportation, is one of the things you have to deal with sometimes. But that's why I don't take the Babylon branch. And I would never want to be along the Babylon branch because of that and so many other things. Because the Babylon branch doesn't go to the Pine Barrens. It doesn't go a lot of places I need and like to go to. So I would never want to be along that Babylon branch. But this is what goes on. This was from New Year's Day. That's why I was so glad when I saw this picture up there. A New Year's Day, and I saw this problem, and I really hope the Babylon branch has a lot of problems this year. They deserve it because they're spoiled with the service, and they don't deserve the service they're getting with the way they treat the trains, the way they throw trash all over the place, mess up the bathrooms, and just walk around with this little holier-than-thou attitude that they have. It's wrong. It's wrong, and I'm going to call them out again on it because it's not right. If you want to be looked at with respect, then you have to have respect for the transportation system you are riding. And unfortunately, for many of the people on the Babylon branch, and especially as we've learned in the past with them getting off a train on electrified tracks because the train didn't move for 20 minutes, these people are just some of the most obnoxious train commuters I've ever dealt with. All right, so that had to be said. I'm sorry, but I'm being honest. So that's it.
Now anybody can park here from wherever, and they're coming from all over the place.
I know people come from Westbury, East Meadow, Hicksville.
Now anybody can park here from wherever, and they're coming from all over the place.
I know people come from Westbury, East Meadow, Hicksville.